Hi everyone, my name is Keely and I'm the owner and creator here at Soy and Shea, and thank you so much for joining me for another soap making video. Now today's soap I am using another one of the Aussie Soap Supply fragrances, but don't worry, this fragrance oil, even though it was pretty naughty in my tester, it has behaved quite well in my main soap, and I'm really happy with how this one has turned out. So come along with me and watch how I make my cherry almond pie. Let's go. I have split off my oils today because I am working in layers, and on the website the fragrance is described as has a slight acceleration, but when I did my test of this fragrance I discovered that it does accelerate. I wouldn't exactly call it slight. It starts to accelerate and doesn't stop. So I have decided to actually split my oils up and work in the layers because, as I said, we're going to do some sculpting, so I need that time in between so that my main bucket doesn't set up. What I've just put into my oils here is some latte mocha because this is going to be the bottom of our soap and I want it to look like pastry. My fragrance oil into this one, I do want to save some of this back for some piping. Now because I really don't know how it's going to pipe once I get fragrance in it, I am going to pour that bit off and leave it to set up. Might need just a little bit more in there. Anything I don't use can always be made into soap dough. So I'm going to leave that much to the side without any fragrance oil in it. I might be able to put some fragrance oil in once I am ready to pipe it. We'll just see what happens. For now, I'm going to pour in that cherry bomb fragrance. It's got notes of black cherry, strawberry, vanilla, and almond. Now, one of the things I have noticed with the Aussie Soap Supply fragrances, for anyone that is using them, I've noticed when it goes nice and liquidy thin like this, as soon as you add that fragrance in, it generally starts to accelerate after about a minute or so of stirring. It's really cruel what it does. It gives you this false sense of security, thinking you can do these beautiful swirls, and then all of a sudden you've got this really thick soap. So that is just a little something I have learnt. So this black cherry, or this cherry bomb fragrance oil, to me it actually reminds me more of a almond pie, which is why I am going to be calling this one Cherry Almond Pie. That almond sort of note really comes out to me more than what the cherry does. It is a lovely fragrance in terms of smell, but I definitely wouldn't have said cherry bomb. It definitely is more of a cherry almond. So what I'm going to do is get this all in here. I'm going to leave this one to sit here for a little minute. It'll probably only take about 5 because, as I said, this really does start moving once that fragrance is in there. I'm going to leave it sit here and then we're going to come back and do a little bit of sculpting. This has been sitting here for about 5 minutes and it is ready to start sculpting, and I'm going to be using one of the shapers that Lee over at Wicked Lee sent to me. Now since she sent me the couple to try, I have also now been purchasing from her as well because she has some amazing designs, and I do have something a little bit special coming up with those shapers as well. Just to let you guys know as well, since I did the Cherry Volcano soap, she's done another video now announcing she's shipping these overseas. These are super lightweight, so you can get lots of them in a little package, so it is actually very economical. And the other thing she actually said in that video is that the material that these are made with, it's not plastic, it is a biodegradable material, so don't worry about the fact that if you think you are buying plastic things, they are not, so they are really good. Now I also bought from her these little clips that she has just bought out. They go on the side of your shaper here, and then when you pop them into your mold, you can put them to the height that you want, and then you can actually rest your shaper onto your mold, and then you know you're going to end up with that same height the whole way through. I need to come down just a little bit more than where I was, and now we are going, let's get them so they're nice and even there. That's it. And now what we're going to do is just pop our little shaper in there. As I said, I'm using the clips on the top of my mold. Now I'm not pushing down on them, they're not sturdy enough to push down on. You are literally using them as a guide. And now what I'm going to do is just pull that soap towards me. We should get some really good definition here because this soap has set up really hard. So I'm going to keep pulling. Oh, that is looking absolutely amazing there. Keep coming. Oops. What I'm going to do is just grab a small mold. I was going to put it into a little donut mold, but I think this is set up too thicker. We might try it. Let's try it and see what we get. I was going to put them in these little donut molds and then I was going to be able to give them away. But no, I think, no, they'll be too thick. Nah, we'll go for the big mold. It's just going to be easier. So all I'm going to do is scrape this out and push it into this mold. This has set up really quite hard. So I'm going to keep coming right to the end. I definitely saved that little bit of soap batter for my piping because this is definitely not going to make nice piping soap with that fragrance in, so we won't be adding any fragrance to that bit of piping. Let's pull all of that up. I'm going to tidy up my mold and then I am going to come back and we are going to do the filling of our pie. I am now ready for the next bit. I have got everything set up. So I've got all my fragrances, my colours, everything is ready to go so we can move quickly on this one. I am going to pour the rest of my sodium hydroxide distilled water into the remaining oils. I'm going to give this just a very light mix as always, bringing it to emulsion, and then I'm going to split it out for just a couple of colours because I want a little bit more for piping and I really do want a little bit of extra colour actually in the pie part, so we'll see how we go. Okay, I am all mixed up here. I'm probably soaping a little bit too cold today as well, which is not going to really help my sort of cause here. It's a bit silly really. We are having some rather cool evenings, so I had all my soap oils set up. In winter I try and prepare my soap oils in the morning to soap in the afternoon, and then in summer I actually prepare them at night to soap first thing in the morning. But yesterday I got all my oils prepared and then things just didn't happen, so I didn't get to do the soap. Come out this morning and all of my sort of oils are almost set back up into solid form, but these pots don't fit into the microwave. I really should have actually just poured it back out, dirtied another jug, but this is my own fault, I suppose. Anyway, I now have that done up. I am going to pour off some white, which I want for some piping on the top. I might do a little bit more of a drop swirl with that too, because that was a bit more than what I wanted. And into this pot I have got some Eminence Purple Mica that I have mixed with just a little bit of really red. So I've got those two, and then into the big pot here I am also going to put in some of that really red mica in here so we get a nice red base to go on this. So I get these colours mixed in and then we will work quick at putting some fragrance in. Got all those colours mixed in. I have actually saved myself way too much white, so I am going to do a bit of a drop swirl with that into that dark purpley red colour. It's probably still a bit too much. just have some white soap dough at some point. Now I'm not adding any colour in any fragrance into that darker one. I am going to add all of that into my white. I'm going to give it a stir. You'll see that this fragrance will loosen this up beautifully, and you just get so excited about it that you've got this really nice fluid soap batter. You go and do something else, and then all of a sudden it's really, really thick. So it is a very, very sneaky fragrance here. So get that mixed in quickly. I'm then going to swirl this darker colour in, and then we're going to quickly grab that mould and we are going to pour it in. Of that latte mocha into a piping bag, and I've got one of the pastry tips on here. So this side has got lots of little teeth, and then that side is nice and flat. This actually isn't a Wilton tip. It has got a number 98S or 198S written on the side, so I'm assuming that is going to be the equivalent of a Wilton tip 198 small, but this was just one of those things that I found in a box of stuff that was given to me, and I kept it because I thought one day I would be able to use it. What I'm going to do is just start piping what I'm hoping will look like lines of pastry, and I have got it so that the zigzag edge is pointing up, and you get that really nice pastry sort of textured look to it. So I'm just going to put lots of little lines across the top here. Saved myself too much soap, whereas in reality I've only just had enough to do that. I chose to do my lines going across on the diagonal rather than straight up and down sort of thing, so that we end up with a really nice crisscross pattern per bar of soap. What I'm now going to do, I've got my white here, and I am going to put a nice dollop of cream on the side of each of these soaps. We'll definitely hide that nasty little one there. This is a 2D tip, which is a closed star, and it makes this really, really pretty ruffled effect on here. I'm just going to pipe these all down the one side here, and then I have a little embed to finish these off. Top of this soap I have these little cherries. Now sorry, I didn't do a behind the scenes video on this. This was something I've literally sat at the TV and just played with some soap dough. They were a little 5-gram ball of soap dough that I rolled up, and then I dinted in the top just to make them look like a cherry, and then I've put a little green stalk on them. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to lay them on the side of the cream, and that is so that when I go to wrap these up, that little stalk doesn't get knocked off or damaged in that wrapping process. So hopefully these are all the right sort of size. Might have to put some of them on their side as well. They're not quite circular round, they're a little bit squished in their shape there. Okay, so here is almond cherry pie. I am so pleased with how this came together because honestly I didn't think that this was going to work. When I first bought in these Aussie Soap Supply fragrances, I actually did up all of my little drawings while I was waiting for the fragrances to come in, and I just had this vision for this cherry bomb and I just couldn't really let it go, and I really wanted to do it no matter how badly this one behaved. Just to give you a look, let's see if we can get the camera up here. That was my original drawing, so I'm pretty pleased with how this one has come together. Gonna leave it sit here overnight and then we'll be back very soon and we will cut it open and see if we did manage to get any pretty swirls. Doesn't that look so delicious? And look at those swirls. So even though this was a bit of a fast moving fragrance, I think because of the way I did this, upping that water level and everything, I was able to get a few swirls through here. But I'm really interested to see what our sculptured layer looks like, as well as those swirls. So I've got this all lined up. I have missed all of those little cherries. Let's get cut through this one and we will take a look. Let's start with this one from off the ends. There is our top with our bit of cream, our cherry, and that is the inside. I really love that swirl that we've got in here. I really wasn't expecting to get too much of one because of how quick this did move. I am really loving this bottom layer here. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up that well because my little screen doesn't show it to me, but it does have a lot of definition. Oh, if I get in close I can see some of that there. So those shapers really do put a lot of definition into the soap, even though they have got some really fine sort of detailed work on them. So really love the sort of edge of that pastry on there. This one actually also smells pretty good as well, and from the tester piece I've got, it does hold really well in the soap for that scent. And grab these next couple as well. I am really pleased with how this one has come together. Very happy that we have got those gorgeous swirls through here as well. Really loving the colour, especially that purpley colour. I'll have to remember to do that one more often. It's very hard to find those sort of rich purple colours here. My Micro Obsession do have quite a number of purples, but none of these sort of more reddy sort of purple colours, and it's just come up so good. Really pleased. Love the little cherries on the top. This one really does look like a little cake. Now if you follow along with me over on Instagram, you will see when these ones are ready and up on the website, ready to go out to their new homes. I hope you have enjoyed watching how I have made my cherry and almond pie. If you did, why not leave me a thumbs up and any comments down below. And until the next video comes out, I hope you have a great one and I will see you then. Bye!